pretty good first day on a new job. I know these videos are getting posted quite a bit later than usual, but with the longer daylight hours, I can work a little later most days, so we're posting videos a little later. Typical job, I guess. I don't know. After a while, they're just all jobs, you know. I mean, they all just kind of run together. They're exciting for a while, then they're work, they're jobs. But hope you enjoyed today's video. Be here again tomorrow. I've got to help Dad first thing in the morning. I've got to help Dad cut some trees. Then I'm going to try to get this job wrapped up tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow night we'll move some equipment. That's kind of the plan right now. I'm going to roll these windows up. That's kind of the plan right now, I think, but plans change so fast. I went and looked at some really big trees today, some big walnut trees that you'll hear me talk about them in the video. I mean, there's some of the bigger trees I've looked at in quite a while. There was only 4 of them, 4 big trees and about 5 or 6 other smaller trees. The only catch is they've got a lot of obstructions in the way, outbuildings, guide wires. So I don't, and I even told the gentleman, a couple of them have been lightning struck real bad, and I don't think it'll hurt them too awful bad, but you never know with lightning scar, you never know how it's going to affect that water, how deep it's going to run. So I don't know if we're going to try to make a move on those trees or not, really. They'd be the type of trees that you need to get up in them and take the tops out before you bring them down, just to be safe. That way you didn't tear anything up at the fall. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can come up with and maybe try to do something. Guys, thanks a lot. Enjoy today's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of our social outlets, Turner Logging LLC at Instagram and on Facebook, and check out everything Logger Threads is doing at loggerthreads.com. And you can also follow them on Instagram and Facebook, along with Timber Tracker. We had a company. We posted an ad today. They're wanting to buy oak and walnut logs. Everybody's wanting walnut, you know, but the oak, it's really a pretty good deal on the oak here in Missouri, northern Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Post oak, red oak, some white oak, bur oak. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, enjoy the video. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. First day on a new job. Now, when I looked at this timber and bought it, it was March. That's when it was. It was the end of March. It was right before we moved up north and started working for that little stretch. So there was no vegetation. But even when there was no vegetation then, it was still fairly thick walking down through here. So this morning, what I'm doing before I ever fire up a saw, I've went through here and I've pushed out some roads. These roads are both for me and for the skidder. That way I don't have to fumble through this jungle trying to find the trees. I can get right to them, easy walking, get them cut. It'll save me time on both ends, both getting to them to cut them and getting in here with the skidder, because I can build good roads faster with the skid steer. All I've done is just kind of take the bucket, lowered it down here, cut in some trails. It's woolly. It's a jungle in here. There was a big tree on this hill. Watch that line there. That thing's gonna spell trouble. There was a big tree on this hill somewhere. I don't remember for the life of me whereabouts it was. It was right, because that's kind of we're down here in a little creek bottom. All I remember is that tree was up there somewhere. I don't remember where, but it was a pretty good sized tree. And there's nothing. That's the only thing. It's a good tree. But other than that, the rest of them they're just logs. Nothing spectacular. But we're happy to have them either way. So now I've got these roads in here. What I can do is go up here and get my saws. Oh my gosh, a rocky thing. I'll probably put my saws in the bucket, and I'll bring the skid steer back down here and park, and I'll go to cut. I've got to bark these trees down here just because of the high water. But I'll get them barked and I'll go to cut. And then later today, we'll try to get them drug out. I mean, a rocky mess. You wouldn't think there'd be near that many rocks down here in this little creek bottom. This road, it was already kind of here. It was I just opened it back up. I didn't even go too hard in the truck. I found another rock there, a boulder or something. Yeah, I didn't even really do too much to open this road back up. I just kind of ran with the bucket down. Kind of peeled the vegetation off. I'm glad there was a road in here. It's rocky. I found all kinds of rocks on the way out. Let's see if we can make the climb out of here. This is one thing I really like about having an air-conditioned machine. I can sit in here after a while and kind of cool down, and then turn it on, just kind of cool off in the air conditioning for a bit. Grab a drink of water. Kind of get my composure and energy back, because these Missouri summers are so humid. That's one thing. They're back up in the 90s today here, and it's mugged. It's muggy and humid this morning. You can tell I'm already getting kind of tired. And that's what I like about making these roads, because every little thing helps when you're down here. And this thick stuff cutting timber in the heat, just like having these nice roads to walk on where you're not, wading through the brush and the weeds and the briars. I can build roads right to the trees with the cat and cut them. Call it the lazy way if you want, but at the end of the day, I feel like I can get more done that way. I feel better, and I've got more energy, and I'm more alert, and I'm more aware of what's going on around me. I've got the saw setting right there, of course, but I got 4 or 5 right in here close to cut. And they're trees, I had to look them each over because they're going to fall kind of back towards each other. So it's like playing a game of chess sometimes. You want to plan your moves out strategically. So we'll get these laid down. And one thing I have noticed, this is an older 661 here that I'm running, but we got 2 of these old saws. And it seems like every now and then, if you run them and just shut them off, they don't want to start back up. You got to let them sit there a while or flood. But you let them sit and they'll fire right back up, and away they'll go. I don't understand it. I've got another one of these old. I need to take them both to the shop and have them looked at. They're good running saws, but that's the only issue. Like, they'll just kind of, you can run them for a little bit, and you better keep running them. Because if you run them, they just shut them off sometimes. They don't want to start back up for a little bit. I can't explain it. I'm not a mechanic. That's the only complaints I've had out of these 661s. And I've actually I brought an 88 down with me today in the bucket for a backup saw. I bought 2 saws. I always like to bring 2 saws. Got the hammer and wedge in there too. It's nice to be prepared. There's gasoline in here, not hydraulic oil. But it's nice to be prepared. But I hadn't ran that 880 in a while, so I brought it down. I actually cut a tree with it a little bit ago, just to see if it still ran. I bet it's been, that one there, I bet it's been 8 months, 9 months since it was ran. Man, she just fired right up. Fired right up like it never missed a beat. Let's see if that thing's cooled down. We'll see if we can get these other few on the ground. Yeah, that kind of opened up the canopy a little bit. Whew. They're not bad trees. We cut one really good one. Second tree I cut this morning. I pulled a little bit on the side of it. It didn't destroy it, but it bugs me. I mean, it really didn't hurt the log any, but it pulled some fiber on the far side on a spur, which I hate, because would have to do it on the best tree on the job. But they're tall trees, and they got some size to them. He's way back there. He goes way up there. course, this one had kind of a fork in it, and this walnut tree here, it scuffed it up a little on the way down, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm getting that guy out of the way because it kicked back quite a bit. You know, it come back there a long ways. But I didn't want to cut that because in a few years that'll be a good tree. So it all worked out good. And now that that one's gone, this one will really put on a lot of growth, especially down here in this creek bottom. The creek's pretty big over here, Brush Creek is. You can hear 13 highway. It's a 4-lane over here. It's not even a half-mile away. Me and Dad have cut a lot of good walnut timber down here over the years. And I know there's still quite a bit on Brush Creek here in places. But just like this deal here, it's stuffed out down here in these draws and holes where unless you know what's there, you don't know what's there because you can't see it from the road or anything. But yeah, these are good tall trees, man. They've got some size to them. This one here fell that way, then this one here fell back this way. I cut this one first, then I cut that one second. Yeah, I don't know, I think I've got 10 down through here. And there might be 1 or 2 more hiding in here, but it's so dense and bushy, you can't see anything. I mean, you can see nothing in here. It's an absolute jungle. But hopefully, I'm going to come back tonight and try to drag logs. I'm going to go look at timber this afternoon. I got a call this morning up at Willard, Missouri. So I'm going to go to Willard this afternoon and look at some timber. Then I'll come back tonight when it cools off a little bit. I was going to try to move a skidder tonight, but I think I'll try to make as much headway on this job here as I can, because if I can get a lot done this evening, then tomorrow I should be able to just about finish this up, and we can bounce on to the next one. And that's what I like about these little jobs. They're nice because you can really get in there and knock them out, then go to the next one real quick. But at the same time, it's that same old song and dance you hear from me. I always wish there was more trees. Always wish there was more trees. But there's a ton of good small residual trees like this guy here. He could almost, stupid spider webs. He could almost be cut right now. We're gonna leave him. There's another good one right there growing. It's nice to see a lot of residual trees, and I've seen some old stumps in here from years past, and honestly, I'd say this road I opened back up's an old logging road. I would guess they probably cut some bur oak and stuff like that down here in the bottom. I've seen 2 or 3 really good bur oak down here, but I don't think we'll cut them. I think I'm gonna fire that thing up and get in the air conditioner for a minute. We're gonna point it up out of this hole up on top. Whew. Summertime logging. We come back to work this evening. Got a couple back there in the grapple right now. There we go. I'll try to make it up out of the hill here. This is off the road. This is our first drag on the job. As I said, I had to go look at some timber this afternoon. Pretty big trees. Pretty big trees. But there's a catch. There always is. Pretty steep right here. Pretty good draw right there. I say at one time there was some really good oak on this job. Pretty good climb out of here. This skidder's running pretty good. The landowner said some Amish stopped by today and wanted to know if they could buy it. I told him just to go ahead and sell it. evening. Kind of the point of coming back in the evening. It got so hot during the day. Let's just come back and drag logs tonight. I'll work till dark. Try to make some good headway on this job. It's only the first day, but I'd like to wrap it up tomorrow. I was coming out of the woods a minute ago before I took 2 out. I've been trying to take 2 as I went, and back over here by the creek, I grabbed that log, already had it cut off, and on the way out I felt something hit me in the arm, sting me, and then I looked down and I got into a mess of red wasp, and those little suckers are vicious. That's the first bunch I've got into this year, but we've got into them before cutting, and it always seems like they're down here in these low bottoms, from my experience. I mean, we've seen them up in the hills too, but it seems like every time I've been stung by them, they've been down here in these low creek bottoms. Man, just you'll be cutting, all of a sudden they start hitting you and nailing you. I hate little guys. I had some choice words that I called these as they were stinging me. One thing about it, you know when you're stung by them. We'll grab the saw and cut this one off. This is kind of a crooked devil, but we can kind of get some good straight pieces out of it. It's not a bad size log, not super big, but big enough to cut. And there's another one over there. We'll grab it and try to take it out too on the way. Before long, it'll be dark down here in the woods. It's already, sun's already starting to get down a little bit. It don't take much. You get under this big, thick, heavy canopy. It gets dark and you can't see. So we'll get this guy worked up and get the other and see if we can get him up to the deck. I think we'll call it a night. Gotta jump on them anyway. Tall trees, real tall. Good dark wood in them. Just good creek bottom timber. Wish I had about 50 more of them. I mean, while we're wishing, let's wish for 100. That old crooked thing there ain't much. We'll straighten him up. Pretty good trees. Got some footage in them just for the height. Got some footage in them. It's a real good log there. Real good log. And a good veneer log in it. Multiple cut veneer. And this old thing here, this is the old big log. You can see I pulled a little bit over here on the side. Not enough to really, it didn't, it hurts me more than anything. It hurts my pride is what it hurts. I actually had to cut that log in 2 pieces just to get it out. The other piece is still in there. And it was a bear cat to get out. I actually took the skid steer down there a minute ago to kind of fish it down to where I could reach it with a grapple, because it was kind of up on it fell uphill. That's what kind of messed me up on cutting. I was just being, and it's one of those things, I knew better, and you do it anyway, and I catch myself doing stuff like that a lot. I'm bad about that. Well, that's them. We'll try to finish this job up tomorrow.